president declaring martial law.
The president of South Korea, Yoon Suk-yeol, he is declaring martial law.
Breaking news, South Korean police and military are swarming the country's parliament after the president declared emergency martial law.
And if you didn't hear the breaking news coming out just minutes ago, as I was preparing to go live, South Korean president has declared emergency martial law for the nation. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol declared martial law in an unannounced late-night TV address Tuesday, accusing the country's main opposition party of sympathizing with North Korea and anti-state activities. So we're hearing that martial law is being declared in South Korea. Yoon did not say what specific measures would be taken. He cited a motion by opposition Democratic Party, which has the majority in parliament, to impeach top prosecutors and reject a government budget proposal. Yoon labeled the opposition's actions as clear anti-state behavior aimed at inciting rebellion. He further claimed that these acts have paralyzed the state affairs and turned the National Assembly into a den of criminals. He described martial law as a necessary measure to eradicate these shameless pro-North anti-state forces. He justified the decision as essential to protect the freedoms and safety of the people, ensure the country's sustainability, and pass on a stable nation to future generations. The parliament's speaker is traveling to parliament and plans to convene a session, according to local broadcasters YTN-TV. Yonhap News agency reported, though, that the entrance to parliament is blocked and lawmakers are unable to enter. Yoon accused the opposition of turning the nation into a substance haven and creating a state of disorder, detrimental to public safety and livelihood. He also said the Democratic Party was attempting to overthrow the liberal democratic system, declaring the National Assembly has become a monster undermining liberal democracy and the nation is in a precarious state, teetering on the edge of collapse. He assured the public, "We will eliminate this anti-state force and restore the country to normalcy as quickly as possible." While acknowledging that martial law might cause some inconvenience, he promised efforts to minimize its impacts on the public.
President Yoon Suk-yeol announced the step in a televised briefing, saying it was critical for defending the country's constitutional order. Yoon has accused his political opponents in parliament of sympathizing with North Korea, saying they've paralyzed the government with anti-state activities. Now those opposition parliament ministers are trying to force a vote to lift the martial law.
The South Korean president declaring martial law in a late-night TV address. CNN's Mike Valerio joining us now from Seoul. Mike, I know the detail pretty sketchy at this point. What do we know?
Well, we have disturbing details that are just crossing the Reuters wire, Becky, as our colleagues and team of journalists are sorting through what this means. Reuters reporting at this hour that all media in South Korea are coming under the control of martial law command in South Korea. What that means for us here at CNN, unclear. Our bureau's broadcasting from the heart of Seoul, South Korea. But protesters, according to information that is just coming into our bureau here, are being told by law enforcement that they can be arrested without any warrant in this new chapter of martial law that has begun just about an hour and a half ago. So to bring our viewers up to speed, what exactly we're dealing with here, the president of South Korea, Yoon Suk-yeol, comes on TV in an unannounced address to the nation and says, Becky, because of what he described as elements of government that are, from his view, sympathetic to North Korea, to communist forces, because of those things and others, he is declaring martial law for the first time since this country has been ruled by military dictatorship in the 1980s. Now, we are trying to sort through what this means for democracy in this bastion of democratic rule in East Asia. I live about just a couple minutes away from where we're broadcasting from. There are police, Becky, who are on their phones, calling their captains, calling their colleagues, asking, what are they to do? What does this mean? What is going on in the building that I live in? And when you're just walking through the streets, there are people who are running to their families' homes to be with them, to figure out what to do to be close to loved ones in this moment that is unprecedented in so many of our memories. So Yoon Suk-yeol, the president of South Korea, did not lay out what specifically he wants to do with these martial law provisions. We're waiting for some sort of text that outlines what powers he says he will have. But from the information that is trickling out, the leader of the Democratic opposition party, Lee Jae-myung, is saying, there's no way this can fly. In paraphrasing what he's saying as we're taking in all this information, Becky. This is an illegal move, Lee Jae-myung, the opposition leader, says, and this has to be canceled. So lawmakers are streaming to Parliament, but we are also seeing reports of activity at Parliament being declared illegal as well because of these martial law regulations that apparently have come into effect. So to say that this is unsettling would absolutely be the understatement of the evening here at 11:42 p.m. local time on a Tuesday night. There are whole multitudes of people across the city who are stunned and are trying to figure out how an unpopular president made this move and what is going to happen next and what this means for democracy here in South Korea, Becky.
I want to bring in Kenneth Choi, the international editor for the Korean newspaper, the Chosun Ilbo. It's good to have you. How do you assess what is going on and why?
Well, actually, a lot of people are dismayed. I've been in close communication with a lot of people, journalists and friends in political circle. Actually, everybody's flabbergasted. Don't know what's going on right now. We understand why the president made his call the way he did it, but it's absolutely stunning. It seems like he hasn't informed a lot of people, even inside his circle. So there's a lot of confusion going on. The opposition party has filed, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, let me just be quite clear. You said you understand why the president did this, made this decision. Can you explain what that is? Why specifically do you believe that he has declared martial law, and who are these sort of communist elements that he is talking about wanting to purge?
Well, he is frustrated because the opposition party, which controls about almost 2/3 in the parliament, has impeached 18 of his cabinet ministers level, impeached the prosecutor general, so they are impeaching everybody, and then the opposition party cut down almost $4 billion in the budget, government budget. So he believed that the opposition party is trying to shut his government down. And he believed that, or the leftist element from the North Korean agents or whatever has penetrated into this movement, and they are, sort of inciting all these instability. I'm not sure whether this is deemed necessary to have a martial law. That's a secondary question. But, when I said I understand why he did it, because he's frustrated. I'm not sure whether that's justified, because even the president of the ruling party said he would try to stop this. So right now there's a lot of confusion going on. The martial law committee chair, I guess, whoever it is, has declared that no political activity is allowed from now on. So I think, as you said, the very essence of our democracy is probably come to a halt. I don't know whether it's a price we should pay. So a lot of people right now, it's middle of the midnight, so people are confused, still watching what's being sort of played out. And actually, there's a lot of legal aspects into this that needs to be taken care of. First, the president declared martial law, but the parliament can override this. And if the parliament requests, with a simple majority request to, put the martial law back into the cabinet, then, he has to, follow through. But the question is, will he, or, does he, bind to follow through, or does he, just continue to declare martial law? It still remains to be seen. So, a lot of people are very, very confused at this time of hour.